Thank you, Dr. Hartley, and thank you to the students, parents, faculty, and staff who have made my 4 years everything that they were. It is an honor today to deliver the commencement address for this incredible student body. It is also my pleasure to welcome students, families, faculty, and staff to graduation day at Norco College. Every one of you has made an impact on the graduates who sit here today. I came to Norco College about 4 years ago, but my story doesn't start here. I am one of 10 children from an impoverished Mexican family. Impoverished is a fancy way of saying we were extremely poor. My parents immigrated to America and laid down the roots way before I was born. We lived off of food stamps, welfare, and Section 8 housing. If we didn't have a place of our own to save in, we were sleeping in someone else's garage or a homeless shelter. The clothes I wore to grade school were from church, donation centers, and thrift stores. My dad used to tell me as I walked out the door to school, "Échale ganas, Ashley. Give it your all. I want you to be the best student in school." My humble upbringing has been the fuel that drove me every day to get this degree. And like many others who are graduating today, we weren't born with a silver spoon in our mouth. We also didn't quit. And here we are today as college graduates. When I was 5 years old, I was placed in the foster youth system. I hopped from home to home, separated from my parents and siblings. There were too many traumatic experiences to say here, but needless to say, it was not an enjoyable situation, and I was not focused on school. By the time I got to my senior year of high school, I was placed in below average mathematics. I believe it was remedial algebra. To me, at the time, this experience was humiliating and frustrating. I had to start from scratch. All the years I had spent not paying attention in high school had finally caught up to me. Something had to change. So I made the effort every day to apply myself. I studied by the book and sat in the front of the class to eliminate distractions. I passed, but not by much. There were 729 students in my high school graduating class, and I was number 700. Not at the top 1%, but the bottom 3.978%. However, that wasn't the end of my story. I can now proudly say I'm doing advanced mathematics and going on to get my degree in it. So I would like to share this honor, not only with my family, but to everyone here who grew up struggling to make ends meet. I want you to know that you are built a little bit different. You are unstoppable. You have become the hero you always set out to be. As I stand before you, I'm looking back at the legacy we've all made together. For those who attended Norco College before COVID rocked our world, you remember what it was like to come to campus for class, to grab lunch at the corral between classes, what it was like to sit in the cubicles at the library cramming before a test, and what it was like running to the parking lot because you forgot to pay your parking pass, and we all know campus police moves fast. This school has made an impact on our lives and has shaped and inspired us into the scholars we are today. It has allowed us to create the friendships that we have for many years to come. Many of you that I know personally that will go on and literally change the world. Words cannot express how honored and inspired I am to have been around to see that history in the making. Right here in this group are our next business tycoons and our future tech giants. I also see our future Nobel Prize winners in physics because they were able to hypothetically disprove string theory, and the future computer science majors who helped build the algorithm to see that. We are all big dreamers, but sometimes our plans don't always work out the way that we had hoped. I started school at Norco College after enlisting in the United States Army. I didn't think I was college material after high school. My grades certainly weren't college material. The military was a great stepping stone for me. It provided me with an opportunity to develop my self-esteem and self-worth. It taught me to struggle and to not quit. It taught me to believe in myself and others. I know my friends at the Veterans Resource Center can relate. We are built different. We are unstoppable. So when I arrived at Norco College, I came in with the intention of being a doctor and finding the cure for diabetes. I declared my major as biochemistry, and after a couple semesters, like many other pre-med students, I switched to something easier. I ended up getting this degree in mathematics because that's what made the most sense to me, but rest assured, I'm still planning to become a doctor and finding the cure for diabetes. Our dreams don't have to die. Sometimes they're just put on hold. Yes, you see, that's our mentality. We are built different. We are unstoppable. I can confidently say that this graduating class has undoubtedly faced the most challenging college experience in history, but persevered. In this crowd, there are students who lost loved ones, students with kids at home whom they had to teach while learning how to do their own college assignments remotely. There are students who had to figure out how to pay the bills on time because they lost their jobs during the pandemic. Students who had to go without baby wipes, meat, and toilet paper because we thought the stores were going to close down. Yes, let us revisit 2020. Tom Hanks and his wife, Rita Wilson, got COVID-19 before we even knew what that meant. We almost faced World War III. We lost legendary basketball player Kobe Bryant, along with his daughter Gigi. The stock market crashed, and California practically caught on fire. We sat in Zoom meetings only to log in for the attendance check. We had our cameras off, then unmuted our mics to say here, then muted our mics again, only to roll back into bed to sleep. So many can relate when I say it was the struggle to comprehend what was being said in the calls if the lecture was not being recorded. Despite the chaos that ensued, something positive did emerge from the fires of adversity that we all had to overcome. America inspired a global civil rights movement as we joined hands together to put a stop against racism and take a stand to demand equality for all people of color. We flooded the streets letting our voices be heard because, as we all know, we were born to be the change we wish to see in the world. Remember that all the hatred and ugliness in the world is not stronger than us. No, it is not stronger unless we give it strength. We don't know how this will all end, but we do know that we cannot be silenced and that global changes are taking place because we refuse to be silent any longer. We are built different. We are unstoppable. Dear class of 2021, we may not be able to enjoy this graduation in person, or you may be wearing your cap and gown with mask on, but you're still graduating. You are still transferring. You are still one of the most resilient people out there for sticking it out and finishing your last year here at Norco College. Through this pandemic, you are not alone. You are a part of a global community of students who are wrapping up a chapter of their lives and starting a new one. I'm encouraging you to be proud of this accomplishment. Malcolm Forbes once said, "Education's purpose is to replace an empty mind with an open one." What that means is that because of the education you have received here at Norco College, you did not obtain it to fill your mind with misguided views and ideas, rather enlightened perspectives that will brighten future rooms of innovation and outside-of-the-box thinking. You have made it this far. Class of 2021, we are built different. We are unstoppable. Congratulations to every single one of you. Thank you.